Okay, good afternoon again for the second time today. I guess a couple people sent me a message saying that the audio was going a little wonky on the first video today. So what we're going to do is do an exact repeat of the first video I did just a couple hours ago, talking about why the best real estate deals can't be advertised. So if you already watched the first one but want to listen to it with actually some good audio, stick around for the next 10 minutes or so. And if you didn't see the first video, well, just your lucky day, you didn't have to listen to audio going all wonky. If it is going weird, let me know, send me a comment. I've got some really good microphones, so hopefully they're not broken because they cost a pretty penny. So, why are the best real estate deals unable to be advertised? Why doesn't the public get to know about the best real estate investment deals out there? Well, to figure out the answer to that, we have to go back in time for a little bit of a history lesson, and you know I love history, so that's what we'll do. And if you have any questions about investing in real estate or real estate in general, hop on over to callseth.com and we can have a quick 20 to 30 minute Zoom call face-to-face, thanks to the power of the internet, and we can chat about your real estate goals and what you want to do. So, quick history lesson. Why can't the public know and be advertised or given information about the best real estate investment deals out there? Well, the answer is, back in the day, before the internet, before we had mass media, all that kind of stuff, unscrupulous salesmen, and I'm going to use the word unscrupulous salesmen went around from town to town. They would open up shop and pitch these grandiose ideas, get-rich-quick schemes, and the public, not knowing any better, would fall for them. And some people would give them their life savings and invest all the money they had. Well, of course, those shady characters would pack up shop and move to the next town, taking all the money with them, and those poor investors would never see their money again, and many people were wiped out. And obviously this is before the internet, so the message couldn't be spread, and a lot of people were taken advantage of. So the government stepped in and said, this isn't right, we have to start protecting people. And the government decided that you needed to hit a certain threshold for income and assets before you could invest in securities. And this is what these large commercial real estate investments are. They are securities, and they fall under the securities laws. So we'll talk about who can invest in these large commercial deals in a second, but that is why a typical person and the public can't be exposed to these types of deals, because we have to figure out if they are an accredited investor, which is meeting those thresholds set by the government or not. In recent years, the laws have been relaxed a little bit, but you still have to meet those criteria. There are things called Regulation A, and then we can talk about the differences between 506B, 506C in the United States, but we'll save that for a very long and boring video about all how you can structure all of that stuff. And so the reason why the government selected these wealthier individuals to be able to invest in these deals is because they have the wealth or the assets able to absorb a bad investment. So if one investment went bad, they wouldn't be totally wiped out like the little old lady giving their life savings away to that scamster who just took off with it. People's lives were totally ruined. But if you have a certain amount of wealth you can absorb, it might hurt, but it won't totally take you out. Also, wealthier individuals can afford to pay advisors. So they can have a lawyer look over the documents, they can have an accountant give them their opinion on its impact on their financial well-being, and many other different advisors and professionals can be hired. So this is why the government set a bar or criteria that you had to meet. So what do these criteria look like? Well, if you are an individual, you have to make $200,000 a year. Oh, yeah, $200,000 a year. I thought I was doing $2 million for a second. $200,000 a year, or if you're a couple, it can be $300,000 a year. But it's important to remember that you have had to have made $200,000 a year for the past 2 years and have a reasonable expectation of doing so again. So you can't just be a one-hit wonder for 1 year and expect to be labeled as an accredited investor. No, you actually have to have a track record of hitting those income thresholds. And like I said, as a couple, $300,000 combined, or you can have $1 million of assets excluding your primary residence, so minus your house. So that will obviously upset some people in Seattle, Vancouver, Toronto, those major markets like that where we've seen huge appreciation. You have to subtract your primary residence from that equation. And like I said, the whole reason the government came up with these laws and these criteria is to really protect people. But the whole thing about this is now the majority of the public out there doesn't have access to these real estate investments. I cannot advertise these large commercial deals to the general public because I would be contravening the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission. So how are these large commercial real estate deals, or not advertised, but sent around to accredited investors? Well, that's a very good question, and it's called a PPM. So it's called a private placement memorandum. I'll just say memo, so I don't have to write out the entire word of memorandum. And if you have questions about a PPM, or if you do hit the accredited investor criteria, just go over to callseth.com and we can have a quick chat about that. So private placement memorandum, say that 5 times fast. And I think in the first video I said, call me on, set up an appointment on callseth.com, and I'll try and say that 5 times fast. And you can see how quickly I stumble through that. So private placement memorandum. And this has all the terms of the deal, how it's going to be structured, all the payouts, and many, many pages of disclaimers and all of that stuff. So an accredited investor will have their accountant look this over. Sometimes they'll have a lawyer look this over, especially if they're investing their first couple deals and they are unfamiliar with the syndicator or person running the fund, or if they're unfamiliar with the type of asset, which in my case would be multifamily real estate. But this applies to all sorts of classes of real estate: industrial, retail, office, mobile home parks, you name it. You will be getting a PPM, or private placement memorandum, if you are an accredited investor and you are interested in going after these deals. So now we know the whole history behind private placement memorandums and accredited investors. So the whole reason this came into effect was the government wanted to protect people that were being scammed left, right, and center by these shady characters going around, which I think in one way it was good, but now it means now we have the power of the internet. We have all this information at our fingertips. But even though somebody is educated and they are making an educated decision, or they are in a position to make an educated decision, they are unable to do so because we are not allowed to tell you about these amazing real estate deals and go into details, because you might not fit an accredited investor profile. So if you have questions about any of this, or if you are an accredited investor and you want to get into some of these amazing real estate deals for the capital security, for the appreciation, for the many, many tax benefits, I just did a video on how you can invest and basically wipe out any of your income thanks to the power of depreciation and cost segregation. And also there's a cash flow that goes along with it. You can basically earn dividends, so you're getting paid every month while almost paying no tax. So many good things. So if you are interested in investing in these multifamily real estate deals, head on over to callseth.com. And if you think I seem like a nice guy and you want to do business with me, let's set up a call and we'll chat for 20 or 30 minutes and make sure all your questions are answered. So I really hope this helped, explaining why the best real estate deals out there can't be advertised to the general public, and explained a little bit about the PPM, and we'll cover all the 506B, 506C, Reg A, all that sort of stuff in a later video, maybe when it's time to go to sleep, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you will be dozing off if I go into all the legalese. So have a great day. If you are interested, call Seth.com, but we will talk to you later.